This is the Celeb Chat Room, celebrating people's skills and achievement.
Hello everyone. It's a beautiful weather. It's a beautiful day that the Lord has made right here in the city of Johannesburg. In case you're just joining us, I go by the name of Superstar Emmy. They call me the mayor of Johannesburg. His mother's favorite child. PPP, you just tuned into NuView TV on Celeb Chat Room, celebrating people's skills and achievement. But today, like I always do, I always bring the best of the best because it's called Celeb Chat Room. I got my brother. He studied in the School of ABDA for films and movies. Won the best film, short film in Gauteng film industry 2016. Also manages artists, also produces artists. We call him the plug. So, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Ace Boogie with the plug.
Like a trap called Quest.
Welcome to our show, man. It took me a lot to get you right here, man. You're a busy man, bro, but I'm so happy. I'm so privileged. I'm so humbled to have you here today. Yeah. Welcome to our show.
Shout out.
So tell us, who's Ace with the plug? People want to know who's Ace with the plug.
Ace with the plug, you know what I'm saying, is the manager extraordinaire, filmmaker, director. Wow. You know what I mean? Jack of all trades, master of none. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know, I'm a pro builder, you know what I mean? Building legacies, you know what I mean? Wow. Yeah, you out here, you know what I'm saying? Boss life, you know what I'm saying? I'm a brother of the struggle, you know what I mean? Yeah, so Ace Boogie came about, man, you know, trying to plug the system, you know, because, you know, they voice of the unheard, you know what I mean? The ones who are disenfranchised, you feel me? You know how the industry goes, you feel me? There's gatekeeping, you know what I mean? So
gatekeepers,
you know what I mean? So I want to be that voice, you know what I mean? Be that cat that puts on, you know what I'm saying, the young cats who, you know what I'm saying, might be looked upon as not fitting into the mold. You know what I mean? Not fitting the status quo, you know what I mean? Being left behind because, you know, they maybe, you know what I'm saying, used to do, you know what I'm saying, like OnlyFans or used to be on drugs or whatever, you know what I mean? So I'm that cat, you know what I'm saying, who's gonna make sure they get in, you know what I mean? Break down doors, break down barriers, so you know what I'm saying? Boogie with the plug, you know what I'm saying, like a trap called Quest, you gotta say the whole thing.
With a plug, Boogie with a plug.
Yeah.
Okay. I reading your biography, I saw you've been to prison.
Yeah.
Do you care sharing us about the story, why you went to prison and what?
See, but exactly like I was saying, like, you know, for nigga like me, you know what I mean? So, you know, the devil, you know what I'm saying, can play with you. You know, when you pray, there's always two entities that are listening, you know what I'm saying?
True that.
There's God and then the spirit of Shaitan, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So, you know, and sometimes if you ain't right with your spirit and your spiritual, you know what I'm saying, growth and health, you know, you might miss it, you know what I mean? You pray for something and, you know what I'm saying, a blessing might pull up and, you know what I'm saying, and you think it's coming from, you know what I'm saying, God, but it's the other side, you know what I mean? And that was me, you know what I mean? You know, I was out there robbing, you know, stealing, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, we have a saying in the streets, you know what I mean? If the hustle don't fit you, the streets will get you. You know what I mean? And that's what happened with me, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? I was out there and, you know, my luck ran out, you know what I mean? And I actually met God in prison.
You met God in prison.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's how, you know what I'm saying? That's why I give all things to Allah, you know what I mean? That's what it is. You feel me? You know, I came out of prison with a mission and a vision, you know what I mean?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and once God opens certain doors, you know, no man can shut down, you feel me? So I was out there, man, you know, and just being from the other side, you know, being in the darkness, you know, you learn to appreciate the light. You know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying? So
you learn to appreciate the light.
You appreciate it, you know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? So like I literally, you know what I'm saying, wanted to create a situation where, you know what I'm saying, I could be there, you know what I'm saying, for the same cats who might be in the same situation, you know what I mean? Most of my artists are from the streets, you know what I mean? They're hustlers, you know what I'm saying? Some of them are still banging, you know what I mean? And my thing is, you know what I'm saying, to try to coach him up, be that nigga, like, you know what I'm saying, I wish I had when I was their age, you know what I mean? Yeah, because, you know, just direct their energy, channel it, you know, get them at the hood, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when did this happen? Was it in the States or in South Africa?
Yeah, no, I got knocked in the States.
Oh, you got knocked in the States?
Yeah.
Oh, what year was that?
This was like when I was still a youngin', man. I was still a kid, you feel me?
Yo,
yeah,
man.
I was still a kid, you know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, I'm inspired. I'm inspired. So this is just tell you that you can transform your life. You can actually be like, you know, I look up to you when I see you with the flashes things of life. I'm like, yo, my nigga balls, man. But I didn't know the side about you. I was shocked when you sent me your profile, like, wow, did he get been to prison? Yeah, and I was like, I would love to ask you. I'm glad you're able to open up to about your story, and someone listening out there, they can be inspired to say, you know what, you might be in a messed up situation, you can actually go out, you can actually turn your life around. Yeah. As long as there's life, there's hope. And I'm so happy about that. So tell us about your company. What's the name of your company, and then how many artists do you have on your stable that you manage?
So right now, I got the biggest in South Africa, period. You know what I'm saying? The largest number of independent artists.
Wow.
You know what I mean? That's salute to, you know what I'm saying, cats being able to find me, because, you know what I'm saying, they can relate. You know what I mean? They can relate. Like I said, I'm a builder, you know what I'm saying? We out here, you know what I'm saying, mafia style, you know what I mean? Wow. We building legacies, we building futures, we building, you know what I'm saying, wealth, you know what I mean? So, you know, when I first started, you know, actually when I came out of prison, the first thing I was doing, you know, I was interning, you know what I'm saying, for a fashion company, fashion brand. Wow. It's a South African fashion brand, actually, that's based in Turkey, you know what I mean? Wow. Okay. And then I came up in the ranks, and then got to a point where I was creative director. You know, for the African division.
Big ups.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then I got with a small fashion house in SA. We did New York Fashion Week.
New York Fashion Week.
Yeah, we did New York Fashion Week. You know what I'm saying? And what I was doing, I was parlaying. You know what I'm saying? What I was getting, you know, to go through film school. You know what I mean? Got to a point where I could, you know what I'm saying, start a company. When I noticed there was a gap, you know, I actually called my company Gap Marketing. Oh, wow, you know what I mean? Wow. And right now we're sitting on a roster of like 20 artists.
Wow.
You know what I mean? You know,
DJs, artists, or DJs?
DJs, artists, producers. You know, I got a few cats.
Do you have actors and actresses in your stables? Do you manage artists?
Actually, no. I don't have any actors right now. Okay. But
you love to have some?
No doubt. Okay. Because, you know, we actually do have. I manage a few people that are behind the scenes. All right. Like makeup artists and DOPs. You know what I'm saying? Cats that are behind the cameras. You know, editors. Wow. You know, for music videos and things. Oh, and I actually direct a few music videos. You know wow. You do. Trace BET. You know what I mean? Yeah. Did a few documentaries. You know, coming from prison. You know, one of the biggest ones I did was on prison reform, and I did another one dealing with the land grab situation called the Missing Millions. Wow. And yeah, so the company is basically, you know, saying something I created, you know, saying to help guys, you know, have a platform and a voice, you know, because you know you got a lot of gatekeeping going on. You know what I mean? Like I said, you know, if the church lets you down, doesn't mean God ain't got your back. You feel me? Because the church will lie to you. You feel me?
True that.
You understand?
True that.
So it's like, you know, if you don't look a certain type of way, you're homeless, or you know what I'm saying, you work at a strip club, or you're not clean, they judge you. You know what I mean? So I'm there to try to be that voice to let people know, you know what I mean? Don't even worry about that. You know what I mean? Because God got you. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, the doors that God opens up, no man can shut.
No one can shut it.
No one can shut it. Because even with me, when I got released, they actually locked me right back up, trying to keep me in. You know? Wow. And God was like, nah, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? He was like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I came out with a vision and a mission. You know what I mean? Wow. And it's interesting because you always hear this phrase, you know, it's like the devil's in the details. You know, I was trying to debunk that because I'm like, God is in the details. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? The devil is a lie, you understand? So, you know, I try to keep the focus on that. You know what I'm saying? We God fearing, we in it to win it. At the same time, we give praise, you know what I'm saying, and gratitude.
Okay.
You feel me?
So someone watching you right now and asking like, I mean, is this messy situation? How do I get out of this message? What advice would you give to someone watching that's also in such situation? I feel like, you know what, maybe I should just go into crime. I'm an artist, but this thing not working. What advice are you going to put to someone like that?
Be honest with you, this is one of the main things that I learned, bro. You know what I'm saying? You can't pray your way out of a situation. You can't fast your way out of it. You know what I'm saying? You can't beg your way out of it. You know what I mean? Because you in it because God wants you in for you to learn something. You know what I'm saying? Until you learn what you gotta learn, you're never gonna get out of the situation. You understand? You know what I'm saying? That's what happened with me. You know, I had to get to a point where I can let go. You know what I'm saying? And let God work his magic. You feel me? Because God's like, yo, I got you. But what we do, we have egos, you know what I mean? We think we can handle things. We think we can do things on our own, you feel me? So, and it's a scary thing to do, you know, because you always want to put control of your own life in your own hands, you know? And someone tells you, hey, yo, listen, let it go. I got this. You know, it takes a minute for somebody to actually, let's say, be in a position where they can let go and let God, you know what I mean? Because it's a strange concept. But the funny thing is, you know, you get in a bus, you don't even know the driver, and you let go. You relax. You get in a plane, you don't know the pilot.
And you
relax, you let go. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to God, you know, you can't, you know what I'm saying? Something is blocking, you know what I mean? So that's one thing, you know what I'm saying? What I can tell you, if you're in that situation, you know what I'm saying, you're hungry, you want to eat, you know, they always say, when you're in a tough situation, everybody gets closer to God. You hear a lot of billionaires, you know what I'm saying? You never hear about them talking about God, you know what I mean? But you see poor people always in churches, always praying, right? Because they feel like, yo, that's probably the only way they can get out of the situation and pray. But then once God changes the situation, you know what I'm saying, they get prideful or they forget, you know, and then what happens? They start forgetting God. But God, you know what I'm saying, what He'll take it away from you.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So it's one thing I do is try to tell all my artists, man, you know what I mean? Don't forget where you come from. Don't forget who gave you what you got. You know what I'm saying? And how you got that. You know what I mean?
So, among the artists you manage, what is the greatest challenge you faced in the industry? You're a record executive boss.
Yeah.
What is the greatest challenge you faced in the industry? We're going to come back. We're going to talk about the issues that we face as well. But like what you personally have faced.
Well, with me, you know, it's always trying to remember not to revert to my old ways because the game is very dirty. You know what I mean? It can get very gangster, you know what I mean? Especially when you're trying to do the right thing, you know, the right way. You know, I always tell people there's always the right, you know what I'm saying, proper way to do anything. Even if it is the wrong thing, you know what I'm saying? But there's always the right way to do it. So it's like one of the main challenges is making sure, you know what I'm saying, my artists get their fair share, you know what I mean? And allowing them to stick to the script.
Okay.
And by script I mean understanding that, you know, sometimes when you have motion but the pockets and the funds are not matching the motion, you might want to give up.
True that.
You know what I mean? So it's always like yo, you can't give up on yourself. You know what I mean? And one thing about me, I can't believe in you more than you believe in yourself. You know what I mean? So
you need to believe in yourself more than I believe in you.
And not give up on yourself. You know what I mean?
I hope my artists are listening though.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, one of the main challenges I have with my artists is keeping them locked in. You know what I'm saying? Put the blinders on. You know, put the blinders on and stay focused. You know what I mean? Stay grounded. You know what I mean? Because, you know, my job is to make sure, you know what I'm saying, I go out there, I put myself out there, you know what I'm saying, for them, you know what I mean? I take the hits for them, you know what I mean? Because, you know, like I was just telling you now, you know, the ego, you feel like, hey, yo, somebody, you know what I'm saying, hey, yo, my pockets are hurting, you know what I'm saying? And I know who's at fault, you know what I mean? So my thing is, hey, yo, relax, I got this, you know what I mean? That's a major challenge, you know, them really getting to a point where they like can trust that, hey, yo, Ace got me, you know? Yeah, because I'm gonna go out there and do what I gotta do, you know what I mean? Like I said, being from the other side, you know, I can handle that. I can take those heats, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know, because, you know, God wants soldiers, you know, you can't be a coward out here and then say you ride with God, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be ready to face evil, you know what I mean? You gotta be ready to, you know what I'm saying, walk it, you know what I mean?
Okay, viewers, in case you're just joining us, we're sitting right here with record executive, award-winning director. He goes by the name of Mr. Ace Boogie, the plug with the plug. We're going to take a short ad break, and when we're back, we're going to continue with our discussion. Peace. Don't touch that. Yeah. I see you. Celeb Chat Room, celebrating people's skills and achievements.
Celeb Chat Room. Oh.
This is the Celeb Chat Room, celebrating people's skills.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. In case you just tuned in, you're listening to Celeb Chat Room with your boy, Superstar Emmy. They call me the mayor of Johannesburg. His mother's favorite child. They call me Share Your Papa Money, No Loss. That's my other title, bro. In case you're just joining us, I have a super guest, one of the most creative directors that I know, studied in AFDA School of Film. I also won Best Creative Director for Short Film at Gauteng Film Festival 2016, if I'm right. He's sitting right next to me. He goes by the name of Mr. Ace Boogie. What the plug? shout out, my nigga. Shout out, welcome to my show. Yeah, we had a lot of conversation about his life and everything. Right now, we're just going to talk some more about the industry, the dirtiness of the industry. Yeah, you know, I know a lot of artists. They've got. I've seen a lot of good artists. They've got brilliant song, but they're having problem in getting their song to the radio, to the TV for people to hear it. Yeah. When they make song, you always send it on WhatsApp and everything. What do you think is the issue why a very dope artist that we know for years, that have been doing this music for years, can't get a song on TV or radio to be heard? Do you think? You're a record executive, you know the game, how it works.
Yeah. So I mean, in a nutshell, you know, you like I said before, with the gatekeeping, you know, you'll have people who literally see your talent and see your light, you know what I'm saying, see where you're trying to go, you know what I mean, and trying to discourage it, you know what I mean. So
just fix the beat. Oh, shut up. Fix the beat.
Okay. Yeah, shut up. Yeah, you know.
Keep rolling.
So so what you have is, you know, you have those little tools that they've set up where, you know, even for myself, sometimes when I first started trying to get my artist videos on MTV, you know, BET or whatever, you know, you gotta pay. You know, they say you gotta pay to play.
But is it legal?
It's not.
On the website, I've never seen you have to pay for your videos to be played on TV. I don't know if is it legal.
It's not legal. It's like you know, like the payola thing with the radio. You know,
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you'll have like I said, you'll have individuals who like they take the position, you know what I'm saying, to be able to have the access to your music and have the ability to put it on, to sit back and be like, nah, I'm not gonna put you on unless, you know what I'm saying, you do something for me. You know what I mean? And like I said, you know, I got female artists who used to be, you know what I'm saying, OnlyFans, who used to be in a strip club, whatever, you know, and you'll have, you know, executives, you know, saying, you're not marketable, you know, we can get you in there, can get you in there, right? You know what I mean? So it takes somebody, you know, who can translate.
Okay.
You know, basically, you know, like I said, I call myself boss, you know, it's in BOS, you know what I'm saying, brother of the struggle, you know what I'm saying, because I know it's a struggle, you know, we're all in together, you know, and with everything that I went through, you know, I've gained certain tools.
Okay.
You know, I have certain things in my toolbox that allow me to be able to speak to, you know, these people and, you know, make them understand. And sometimes you have to be kind of, you know, forceful. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, having experience of being in the streets, you know, and being in prison, I'm not easily intimidated.
Wow.
And I can be very annoying. I know how to break down doors. You know what I mean? So I use that. You know, I tell guys, yo, let me do that. Let me bring that pain here, bring your talent here. Let me break those barriers for you. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so I want to ask, there's someone watching us right now and they're like, oh, I'm an artist, man. Now I know there's payola. So what other ways can someone break through without going through the payola? I have a friend, I have a girl, I know her personally. She's actually my closer friend. I told her about, like, you know, I told her, he said, my video is going to play, my video is dope. I like, my sister, your video is not going to play on TV. Yeah. It might be the dopest video, but it's not going to play because there's no payola. She said, no, I don't think, I can't suffer and make music and do this and I go pay anybody. I'm not going to pay anybody. So she doesn't pay anybody and her video is not playing.
See,
so what advice will you give to somebody like that? Like, you know what? I don't think it's fair for me to pay for my talent to be heard.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah. So my advice, you know, sometimes you have to make your voice so loud that your talent is undeniable. You know, go the YouTube route. You know what I mean? So by that I mean, you know, make the dopest music, shoot the dopest video, and then you put it out there, and then you keep putting it out there.
On social media.
On social media, you know what I'm saying? And what happens is that pressure, you know what I'm saying, that you want to put the pressure on the majors. And the majors, I mean, like, you know, they're like parent companies like Viacom. They
numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't, you understand? You know what I'm saying? People lie, you know what I'm saying? Men lie, women lie, but numbers don't lie. You understand? So if you make yourself, you know what I'm saying, if you push your art, you know, and you undeniable, you know what I mean? But it takes patience too. You gotta be in a position where you know it's the long road. You know what I mean? Because there's shortcuts to everything. You know what I mean?
So basically, payola is a shortcut.
That's a shortcut. You know what I mean? That's a shortcut.
It's a long road.
You know what I'm saying? But if you go the longer route, you can still get it. You know what I mean? You can they'll come to you. You know what I mean? Because they'll be like, hey yo, listen. Because sometimes when you do submissions, they'll ask you, is this on YouTube? Is this on any other platform? Because if it's very hot, they want to be the first ones to have it. You understand?
Wow.
You understand? So it's like you get blocked, but now if your joints are that hot, they have that competition, like you know what I'm saying? You should have given it to us first, that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
I actually remember Rick, rest in peace, Rick. Just on that award, I can't remember the year. It was like 4 years ago. Yeah. He wore a sock to the award. Yeah. He wanted to make a statement. And when they gave him a mic, he said something about the payola, and immediately they cut his mic. Why is it that they don't talk openly about the payola thing, but it's
because
big.
It's not legal. It's not legal. You understand?
Okay,
it's not legal. Because like I can afford to talk about this and be truthful because like I said, I ride with God. You know what I'm saying? I fear no man. You know what I'm saying? You put your pants on the same way I do. You know what I'm saying? I cut you bleed the same way I bleed. You know what I mean? And you know you can't say you ride with God and then have fear because God is love.
True that.
So if you understand that and you know that, you know what I'm saying, you got an army riding with you. You know what I'm saying? Whether you see it or not. You know, you can't have that fear. You have to speak your truth. You know what I mean? They can't block me because I'm not part of. I'm not part of the system.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I call myself a disruptor. You know what I mean? I'm here to disrupt the system.
Okay.
You know?
There's one question I also want to ask that I personally observed. I've observed it because have you ever noticed that the people, the compilers, they're not musically inclined?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm the only person. Maybe correct me because you see. You can listen to a Maskandi song, okay? I might not be a Maskandi fan, but if I'm musically sound,
you can appreciate it.
Again, I say, even if I don't like the sound, but I know this is good music. So I feel sometimes the people that we have on the compiling sector, they know nothing about music. Because you don't like Afrobeat, like, oh no, this music is not nice. And you just get a reject on your video, like, you know what, sorry, your video is nice, but we can't play it because due to the fact that it doesn't meet up to a standard.
You know how many times we've been through, like I said, before I could literally get my foot into where, you know, because now it's automatic. Okay. You know what I mean? Because everybody, like, I put out quality. So it's I build the relationships. You know what I mean? But the funny thing is, you have a dope music video, right? And you have a dope song, and then you cut on MTV and you see like a video that has no color. No,
bro, no. Shot in Alex in the street with the 4K camera phone.
But you know what I'm saying? But like, if you see that, like it's common sense. You know what I'm saying? You know somebody got something. Somebody got a, you know what I'm saying, a bottle of chocolate block or something. You feel me? Somebody got paid because it's like there is no way, because you can tell. Like you said, if you're not musically inclined, you can appreciate good music. But now when you see something that's like completely, you know, it's shot. You see the cameras in the mirrors. You know what I mean? They haven't gone post to add color. You know what I mean? The editing is off. But it's on TV, and you're like, wait, but you know, like,
it's not up to the quality that
it's not. You understand?
That you have.
But then when you trying to submit, they say, nah, your quality has to be like this, has to be like that. So it's like, but now, how come there's so many videos that have subpar quality, right? That tells you one thing. Number one,
Hands have been greased.
Hands have been greased. You know what I mean? And another thing is also you have to, like I said, with the competition or whatever, you know, or whether they're trying to, you know what I'm saying, get you out of the game where they frustrate you to a point where you quit.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So you have to also pay in mind, like, you know what, you know, sometimes, you know, you have those stumbling blocks because they see that you're a threat.
Wow.
You know what I mean? When you come in, you're gonna take the spots of these individuals that, you know what I'm saying, literally are greasing their palms.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
one more question. I wanted last question before we wrap up the segment.
Yeah.
I actually heard something that record label, they have slots. Like, let's say there's 100% slots on MTV base.
Yeah.
There's 50% slot reserved for Sony. I don't know how true is that. I just want to clarify. There's 20% reserved for maybe Afro Entertainment. There's 20% reserved, and the remaining 10%. That's where we independent artists need to drag and fit it. Is that is it like that? Is it true?
So the number, the percentages.
No, don't worry about the percentage. I just created it. I don't really know. I'm just giving the percentage. Like So it's just the same way even with radio. You know, okay.
You know how they basically have to submit.
Okay.
You know, the songs. Like for instance, most DJs they can't just play anything.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It has to be pre-approved and then they enter into the system. So there's a whole bureaucracy behind that too.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's the same way with TV. You know what I mean? So you have situations where, you know, you might have some people who have good relationship with the execs.
Okay.
You know, and they'll be like, hey yo, no, I really believe in this. You know what I'm saying? I really think it's, you know what I'm saying, we should add it on. You know what I mean? Because they'll do put, you know, like a little limit, like, nah, this one here will go in the second quarter or third quarter or whatever.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So you think like the Sony record label, they have like a slot to say, okay, every artist from Sony, like I know they create like a particular folder, let's say a Dropbox. It's okay, this is for all Sony. Everybody coming from Sony Music goes to this Dropbox.
Yeah.
There's something like that happen?
Yeah.
Wow.
Facts.
So fact, like I don't know who's listening or who's watching. Trust me, don't give up on those dreams. I know the roads. You either take the longer road or take the shorter road.
Always take the longer road because
the longer road is fulfilling, man. You do it knowing that you didn't buy those awards. People are buying awards that day. You know that,
bro. Listen, just like you have cats who are renting bottles to look like they got money in the club. You know what I mean?
Renting bottle in the club, bro. That shit is real.
That's a real thing. You know what I mean? So you'll have, for instance, because this is the easier way to put it. I'm gonna put it in layman's terms, right? It's like boom, because there was rumors like where he wasn't even confirmed. So if you get a certain number of awards, that raises your booking fee.
Wow, true.
So
I always see that now my booking fee just went high.
Yeah. So like, you know what I'm saying? So think about it. So now if a record company says to you, you know what I'm saying, they say to you, boom, you know, we're gonna take 75%, right, or publishing or whatever, right? And they say to you, okay, we're gonna invest, you know what I'm saying, I'm just gonna put a number out there, 750 or whatever, $1 million, right? To get that money back quick, what they'll do, they will buy those awards. Because they know for a fact, once you sitting there, you have Metro Awards, Sasa, what, you understand? Your booking fee goes up, you know what I'm saying? Then they can, you know what I'm saying, for an hour set, you know what I'm saying? They can charge, you know what I'm saying, 100%, you know what I'm saying, more, you know what I mean? So that happens because it's on the daily part of the business, that's what it's about. It's about a company saying, we know for a fact, if you have these amount of awards, your booking fee is gonna go up like this way, and we can recoup
more very fast.
ROI, our return on investment.
Wow, wow! Thank you for all who, if you just joined us and you're just watching it, thank you for joining us. We are right here in the city of Johannesburg, Celeb Chat Room on NuView TV. I'm here with my guest for tonight. He goes by the name of Ace Boogie with a plug. Peace. We're going out on a short break. When we come back, we'll just have some few engaging questions and we wrap up the show. I'll see you.
Celeb Chat Room. Oh.
This is the Celeb Chat Room, celebrating people's skills.
Wow. It's been a heated section in the studio. I'm still right here with my brother from another mother, climbing the same ladder with a different father.
Hey.
My nigga Ace Boogie with the plug, you know, my nigga. Actually, I know you're the nigga with the plug because you actually plugged me, and I really appreciate you for the love you showed me. I remember when I was financially down, you actually he helped me. My nigga helped me right there. Now I would say even on TV, inline, offline, and I really appreciate that for you to come through for a brother. So here's the plug for real, and everything. Thanks for the light you throw into our show, and it's really I've learned a lot just speaking to you for these few minutes, and I know a lot of our guests also learned a lot from listening to you. So we're just gonna have some few fun questions, you know, something just get us right. Yeah, I always do that on my show. Something I like asking. So one of the questions, I'm gonna give you 10 questions.
Right.
So you're gonna answer. First of all, do you smoke weed?
Yes.
Okay. Well, one city you love to visit that you know before I die, I want to go to this place in the world.
Before I die, I want to go to this place.
Okay, let's start with Africa. One city in Africa you want to go.
I want to see Ethiopia.
Ethiopia.
I want to see Ethiopia.
Addis Ababa.
Addis Ababa.
Addis Ababa.
Yeah.
I've been to Addis Ababa.
Have you, man?
That place is beautiful, man.
Word.
Addis Ababa. The ladies are beautiful, but they hardly speak English there, so it's.
But yeah. I want to go for different reasons, though.
Why are you going?
Because you know, I'm very spiritual. You know, and you know, apparently, you know, the people of Ethiopia come from the line of Solomon.
Oh wow!
You know, so I want to go stay and just be able to, you know, visit some of the spiritual places. You know what I'm saying? Check out the texts and things. Wow.
It's been a beautiful place. Addis Ababa is beautiful. I went there 2010. Right. Yeah, but I would love to visit again.
Well, I did hear about the ladies too. I heard they have
very beautiful.
Yeah.
But it's expensive there. Yeah? It's expensive there. But it's nice. It's a nice place. Okay, what about in the world apart from Africa where we like to visit?
Wouldn't it?
Apart from Africa, which other country in the world you like to visit? Like you want maybe for pleasure or for fun?
Yeah. So I've been to Dubai. I did snowboarding in Asia, but Thailand.
Thailand is very beautiful. I haven't been there. I went to Guangzhou. I've been to Guangzhou in China.
Whoa,
Guangzhou. I've been to Guangzhou, Hong Kong and Guangzhou.
Yeah.
But I haven't been to Thailand. So
Brazil, South America.
Brazil.
Brazil.
Bonontu. I know it's very beautiful. They're very beautiful. But I haven't been there. I also want to go there. Yeah. So I want to ask you also, if you have one food to eat the rest of your life, one food, like you're going to eat the whole...
Dude, I'm a foodie.
Yeah.
You can't do that to me.
No, I want to do that to you. What food are you going to eat? Just one. I know you can eat it every day, morning, afternoon, you get tired of it.
One food. Damn, bro. Let's just say chicken wings, flats, you know what I'm saying, with ranch. You know,
really?
Yeah.
Thank God you didn't choose pizza because you're going to get tired of eating pizza. You go get that.
One food.
Okay, what's the best pickup line you've ever used on a girl? Best pickup line.
I don't use pickup lines.
You don't use pickup lines?
I don't use pickup lines.
For real?
I don't use pickup lines.
So how do you ask a girl out? When you see a girl first, what do you say? What do you talk to?
Like, to be honest with you, I just be myself, and most of the time it's like I don't really have to approach.
Okay.
You know what I mean, I get, you know.
Okay. Nice. Okay.
Yeah. I'm a player. You know what I mean?
What's the best moment of your life? Your best moment of your life?
Best moment of my life.
Yeah.
I'll say is when I finally got released.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I got the life sentence taken away from me. And
wow.
Yeah.
It was a life sentence.
Yeah. I went from like a death row to life sentence.
Yo.
And then to literally God making a way for me to get all my charges cleared and everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a miracle.
Yeah, facts.
That's a miracle.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, if you have the right to choose another nationality in Africa, which country would you have chosen?
Nationality in Africa.
Are you? Okay.
I'm saying Angola.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe Angola. Yeah.
Angola.
Maybe Angolan.
Okay, and I know you're a foodie. You like going out. I always see you posting restaurants, fancy.
I'm always trying to plug you.
You always plug me. Hey, we went to this cafe some other time. Which is your favorite meal? Favorite meal of all time?
Of all time.
That you like, you know, when you go to these restaurants, they don't have this, but like, can we have this one? Yeah, favorite meal.
I'll say that pasta linguine with the stuffed chicken breast with bacon.
Yeah,
yeah.
My nigga like chickens. He like chicken. I've had chicken. No, producer, please provide one full chicken for our guest tonight. One full chicken.
Buffalo wings. Yeah, buffalo wings.
Buffalo wings. Yeah, I know. You actually order buffalo wings.
Yeah.
I remember you ordered. Now I know.
Buffalo spicy buffalo wing with the red sauce and the barbecue.
If I make you angry, I'm going to get you a buffalo wing.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask another question. Would you rather know the date of your death or the cause of your death? Think about it.
I think your life is too short. I think I'd rather know the date so I could just live to the fullest. Pedal to the floor. Just go in. You know what I mean? Just do
everything. At the last day, you repent to God, forgive me. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm going. Wow. Okay. That's that. I'm going to give you one last question.
All right.
Would you rather be single or in a relationship?
In a relationship.
A relationship.
Yeah, I feel like as people, you know, we're not meant to be, you know what I'm saying, alone. I always tell my guys too, no man is an island.
True that.
You know what I mean? So whether it's a romantic relationship or a platonic one, I'd rather be in a relationship.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So
Wow.
I mean, even in prison, you know, if you're solo, you in danger. You know?
Wow.
Yeah, you need people. You need relationships. You need to build. Someone have your back when you have to go to the shower. When you have to use the bathroom. If you're by yourself, you can get shanked. You know what I mean? So you always need people. You need relationships. Facts.
Wow. Beautiful. So someone watching the TV right now is thinking, how do I get hold to this guy? He just told us that he can actually break doors and break chairs and break windows for us.
I do that. That's what I do.
To get our shit out there. How can they reach your company? How do they reach you?
Hey yo, listen. info.greenapples@gmail.com. That's info.greenapples, man.
Green apples.
You know
Apples. Is it the apple?
Like the green apple.
Yeah, APPLE.
Yeah, LES.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can reach him on that. Okay.
Yeah.
What last question? Shout out first. Let's give a shout out first. Give a shout out to the people. You want to give a shout out to anyone?
Yo, it's so many. I don't want to. Don't get mad. I might miss some people, but yo, shout out to J Mino. Shout out to Duela. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Lil K. You know what I'm saying? Fun with the Hiti. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Shout out to Easy Beats. You feel me? Shout out to my guy. You know, God Zero. You feel me? You know,
to your PA, man. That one, she's always calling me, hey, Ace is gonna be ready.
Hey, yo, shout out to our PA. Shout out to my PA, you know what I'm saying? Miss Kong, we see you. You know what I mean? Yeah,
last advice you're gonna give to someone watching, like it's about to give up in music industry, what are you gonna say to them?
Yo, listen, you need to understand that, you know, like I said, we are vessels, we're vessels, you know. God blows through us, you know. So you are a creator, you know, you can't give up on that. You have to understand that, you know, God is love. Anything opposite of that is the devil. You know what I mean? So don't get tricked, don't get fooled, you know, stick with it, you know what I'm saying? And get out your own way, you know what I mean? Let God work through you, you know what I mean? Let God work through you. Get out your own way, you know what I mean? Because He knows what you want. He knows your heart, you know. He knows what you need. He knows where you need to get to, you know what I mean? Just get out your own way, you know what I'm saying? And let go, you feel me? And stay true to yourself.
Get out in your own way. God got you. God got you. I just want to say thank you to our guests for coming through. Mr. Ace, thank you so much. Nice meeting you. Nice meeting you. Hope we're going to have you again on the show.
I love it.
Hope we're going to have you on the show. I also want to have one of the artists. The one that came to my event, what's his name? I'd love to have that guy on the show.
You just pick one. I got so many.
No problem.
I told you.
So we'd like to have them on our show.
The largest independent artist manager in the country. Pick one.
So thank you if you're just joining us. Unfortunately, you just missed the show, but you have tomorrow. You can actually tune in tomorrow, 10 p.m., same place, same time, same station. Celeb Chat Room, celebrating people's skills and achievement. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms, Superstar ME, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Also on TikTok. You can also follow our show, Celeb Chat Room, on all social media platforms. And also follow the TV station, NuView TV. Peace. I see you. I love you, but God loves you most.
Celeb Chat Room. Oh.
This is the Celeb Chat Room, celebrating people's skills